Hey guys, this is my review for Monday Night Raw, 30th of January 2012. Right, a couple of things. I didn't do a SmackDown one this past Friday, just gone, because I had so much vision to it and I was sick with flu, so I didn't really want to be in front of my camera. But I do apologise for that, and it won't happen again. I'll just do a quick recap of Royal Rumble. Daniel Bryan versus Big Show versus Mark Henry in a steel cage for the heavyweight title. Daniel escaped from the cage and retained the title. There was a Divas tag team match: Beth Phoenix, the Bellas and Natalya versus Kelly, Eve Torres, Tamina and Alicia Fox. Beth beat Kelly with the Glam Slam. Kane versus Cena. It was a double count out. Carries on backstage. Kane kind of gets the better of Cena. Cena's out on the floor. Kane gets Zack, who's in a wheelchair because of the tombstone through the cage thing last week. Wheels him to the ring, tombstones him. Cena comes out, tombstones Cena as well. Then Kane walks off into the sunset. Drew McIntyre versus Brodus Clay. Brodus wins via the What the Funk Slam. Punk versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE title. John Laurinaitis won't referee. He says he'll supervise the official ref, and he does split it pretty much, considering his job's on the line and all. So Punk wins via the GTS. Right, I'll just give you a quick 1, 2 to 30 of the Royal Rumble in which order they came out. Started off with The Miz, Alex Riley, R-Truth, Cody Rhodes, Justin Gabriel, Primo, Mick Foley, Ricardo Rodriguez, you heard me right, Ricardo Rodriguez, Santina Marella, Epico, Kofi Kingston, Jerry the King Lawler, Ezekiel Jackson, Jinder Mahal, The Great Khali, Hunico, Booker T, Dolph Ziggler, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Michael Cole, Karma, yes, I'm on about the diva Karma, came in, and I can't even explain it, you just need to watch a clip of it. At 22, Sheamus came out. 23 was Road Dogg. 24 was one of the Usos, I don't know which one. 25 was Jack Swagger, Wade Barrett, David Otunga, Randy Orton, Chris Jericho, and number 30 was the Big Show. Now, Sheamus won the Royal Rumble, and thank God he did. Every other guy that it could have been Randy Orton, it could have been Big Show, would have been so predictable, but they kind of shot it right out. It was down to him and Jericho at the end, and it was amazing. It really was the best I've seen in ages, so you should check that out. Right, okay. Raw. John Laurinaitis starts off the show because, of course, he's getting his kind of review thing going on from Triple H. So he comes out first, says he's done a good job and should be permanent GM. He introduces the Raw participants for the Elimination Chamber in a couple of weeks for CM Punk's title. It is, of course, CM Punk, KP Kingston, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, R-Truth, and Chris Jericho. Now, they kind of set up mini feuds between each one. I think, personally, it's CM Punk and Jericho, Kingston and Dolph, and obviously Miz and Truth. Don't hold me to that because I'll most likely be wrong, but that's what I think. He makes matchups for the night. He makes Beth Phoenix versus Eve Torres for the Divas title, Kofi Kingston versus The Miz, and Dolph Ziggler versus Randy Orton. He makes Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk, which is, of course, champ versus champ, heavyweight versus WWE. Punk comes out singing na 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 hey 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 goodbye, which was so funny. Says John Laurinaitis' clown shoes, which is always classic. It says he can't wait for John to get fired, which none of us can. John goes to shake Punk's hand. Punk says, "You don't want to do that, mate, unless you want me to GTS you," so he doesn't do it. Daniel Bryan comes out, says that no one cares about Punk and John anymore, and he says, "I won a match against the largest athlete and the world's strongest man, look at me, I'm amazing." And of course he's not that amazing. He says Punk's not much of a challenge, and Punk's like, "Yeah, I agree, I'm just the best in the world." And Sheamus comes out, says he'll be champ after WrestleMania 28, but he says he'll be champ, goes up to CM Punk, goes up to Daniel Bryan, so we don't know what he's going to be champ of yet. He hasn't let that one slip, because obviously he won the Royal Rumble, so he gets a main event match at WrestleMania. Punk and Daniel then shake hands, so it's all friendly and sportsmanlike. It's then Randy Orton versus Dolph Ziggler. Dolph has a new jacket that he wears, and it's got like a mohawk on it and loads. It's really, really cool. Um, they make Randy versus Wade Barrett on SmackDown. This one coming. Um, Amazing match, really good match. Orton wins via the RKO. And it's then John Laurinaitis backstage basically kissing every single person's ass in that building, shaking hands, congratulating people when they've done absolutely nothing. But yeah, Funkasaurus, Brodus Clay versus Tyler X, which I love him way too much. Brodus wins by his sound called What the Funk, which is a really awesome name. It's them, Punk and Daniel Bryan backstage. They basically get the message across that it's the straight edge Punk versus the vegan dude with beard. I don't know. But that, when you think about it like that, that's quite a good rivalry they could do there. But it's them, Punk versus Bryan. They come out, they shake hands because they're friends. Um, Jericho throws Daniel Bryan. He comes out like 10 minutes in. Chris Jericho throws Daniel Bryan into the like the barricade. So Daniel Bryan wins via disqualification, but he then goes after Punk. Chris Jericho goes after Punk, hits him with the Codebreaker, which leads on to a rivalry at the Elimination Chamber, which is why I think it'll be Punk versus Jericho, because that's what a lot of people are thinking will be at WrestleMania, Punk versus Jericho, which, when I think about it, would mean that it would be Sheamus versus the heavyweight title holder, which will most likely be Daniel Bryan at the time. So, there you go, you've got a bit of an insight now. We get the Celeb Hall of Fame inductee, which is, of course, the Iron Mike Tyson for his debut on WrestleMania 14 with DX when he betrayed DX and went to Stone Cold Steve Austin, which I've seen that so many times. It's really amazing. It's then Kofi Kingston versus The Miz with R-Truth on commentary. I'm going to just say, R-Truth is so freaking funny. His digs at Michael Cole were priceless. It's too good. Miz comes out with a microphone saying Kofi got so much respect for doing. This is another thing. Kofi nearly got eliminated. He kind of fell on his hands and got kicked. So he was doing a handstand and he walked a handstand onto the steps, put his legs on the steps and got up and back into the ring and he carried on. He didn't win, but he carried on. And it was a oh my god moment. And he says Kofi got so much respect for doing a handstand. Miz lasted 45 minutes, obviously he being the first one out there, being one of the last in it. Says he'll beat Kofi Kingston and win Elimination Chamber and then go on to win at WrestleMania. Kofi has no attire, covered in question marks, and I don't really know why. Kofi wins via Trouble in Paradise, which kind of ruined Miz's plan, but never mind. It's only the Miz. John Laurinaitis backstage with David Otunga. John basically says that David's after his job, and then David said he's not. So it was a pretty pointless thing, but it doesn't matter. It's then Eve Torres versus Beth Phoenix for the title. Eve comes out, she's looking absolutely petrified, bless her, because of the Zack Ryder and Kane storyline. Kane goes after her quite a bit. There's no Karma. Karma made this epic, oh my god, I'm going to make history moment at Royal Rumble. No mention of her whatsoever. Nothing. No site, no promo, no flashback, no photo, no mention of her name whatsoever. So we were a bit left in the dark there. Beth wins via the Glam Slam, which I think was the second or third move in the match. What are they doing with Eve? She's so amazing. She can fly and she can fight. She's one of the few divas that can still do that. And they kind of put her in such a low-key match. Yeah, it was a title match with Beth Phoenix. It could have been amazing. They made it last 2 minutes. Not even that. For no reason whatsoever. Then Kane comes out. Well, his music hits and he comes up on the Titan drum saying that Zack's hurt because of John Cena. How does that make you feel? He won't stop hurting Zack until Cena embraces the hate. And he's going to use you as a pawn to get this message across, basically. The fire hits on the ring, so she stands up and she's all looking around all scared. He comes up behind her into the ring, kind of stalks her a bit. Then of course John Cena comes out, Super Cena saves the day. I was kind of expecting a Lita storyline with Matt Hardy and Kane, where Kane kind of kidnapped her, and Matt had to run in like a blue ass fly trying to find her, and then it got bigger from there. That was a really good storyline. No, they couldn't do it to the same degree because obviously it's PG now, but it was a really, really good storyline. But yeah, that's what I was expecting until Super Cena came out. Um, they kind of go into a little brawl. Eve runs away. Cena wins the brawl, but he looks so evil. He's not even smiling or waving to anyone. He says that every time Kane gets up, he's gonna knock him back down. He hits him with the steel chair, with the steel steps, like 3 times. He goes to do an AA on the announce table. Kane gets out of it and runs away into the crowd and off into the sunset, I suppose. John Laurinaitis then comes out to get his evaluation by Triple H. John says that he's the best thing for Raw. Triple H then comes out, says, reminds everyone that John Laurinaitis backstabbed Triple H to get his job as interim GM. Says that everyone lets personal influence cloud their judgment and get replaced. He says John has let personal influences cloud his judgment and that he should be replaced. John says he'll do anything to keep his job. I quote that word for word. Triple H then says, oh, you'll do anything. That's not very specific. I can get you to do anything now. Triple H says, okay then, you can apologise to every single one of these fans in this arena. And if they accept it, then I'll consider letting you keep your job. So he gives this really naff apology, and the crowd's like booing like anything. And he's like, is that good enough? No, I don't think so. Triple H says if there's one thing that his father-in-law, Vince McMahon, taught him, it's that if you need to test someone's loyalties, then you need to get them to join a club. And this, of course, is the Vince McMahon I'm gonna kiss your ass club. So, bless him, Triple H, he gets in the corner, he's getting ready, and the crowd started, on your knees, chant, and I was laughing so hard at this point. Bless him, John Laurinaitis, he gets on his knees, but he goes one step further. He gets up a chapstick and starts putting chapstick on. And Triple H kind of turns around thinking, what is going on? And he's like, nah, mate, you ain't doing it. I don't know where your lips have been. They ain't going anywhere near my ass. And yeah, that was quite funny in its own. Triple H then says the board have let him return as general manager whenever he feels he's ready. And he goes, so John Laurinaitis, I would like to wish you good luck in all your future. Can you guess whose music hits? Yeah, it's the freaking Undertaker. The freaking Undertaker comes back at that precise moment in time. It could not have been better planned if I had gone in there and written it myself. It was so perfect. It was what everyone wasn't expecting. Everyone expecting some heroic return at number 30 in the Royal Rumble for him to come and win it and say, oh, I want to go against this person. But it never happened. We were waiting for it, but we did not expect that. We were all so hyped up about this whole John Laurinaitis thing that we completely forgot of any other thing that could happen. But yeah, he comes out after about 10 minutes of him walking to the ring. John's gone off somewhere, so it's just him and Triple H. He looks up at the WrestleMania logo, looks back at Triple H and does the neck slit thing. He then looks back up at the logo, looks at Triple H, and about a couple of minutes later Triple H just pats him on the shoulder. And then everyone kind of goes, ooh, because Undertaker's looking so pissed off right now. And then Triple H just walks away. And there you've got history made, again, right there. Only legends can do the same thing twice and it still be entertaining and that exciting. I know I was sat at the edge of my teeth. I was sat at the edge of my seat, biting my nails. I was so excited to see what was going to happen. I didn't know if they were going to talk, if they were going to hit someone. I really wanted to watch it. And they never really had that before. They really got on the ball and ran with it this time. But yeah, that's my rant. I will do a review for SmackDown because I'm all caught up on my revision now. So I'm so sorry for letting you down on Friday. I tried to make a written video, but it wouldn't come up and it just didn't work and everything went wrong. But it will never ever ever happen again. You have my word for that. Right. I will see you around Saturday.